As a social seller network marketer, do you struggle with creating content? Sometimes you're really good, you get excited, and then you stop, you're not consistent, and then you're like, here I go again. How do I keep going and creating content that you feel aligned with? So that is you. Keep on watching. Hey there, it's Kristeena Torres. Welcome to my channel, where I'm hoping to empower online boss moms with the social media strategies I have here on this channel, and also sharing the products that have boosted my confidence. So when we're talking about creating content, I'm going to talk to you about little tips for you to think about before you start creating that content, and then how I plan my content. So hopefully these tips will help you. So the first thing I want to share with you is knowing who you're talking to. Who is your targeted audience? And making sure when you create your information, your content, you're talking to them and not you. You take the I out of your caption. It's not about you. You're not talking about you. You're talking to them, giving them value, giving them support, educating them, giving them inspiration. So who are they? So when you think about your ideal client, what struggles do they have? So I guess a few questions you're going to ask yourself is, what are you showing? What has helped you and you're giving value to yourself that you want to give to others? What is it? And then what are the problems that you had that you solved for yourself? Now, then you're going to gear that to your audience is who needs what you have, the support, the education, the inspiration you have, and what are the problems that they have. So that's who you're talking to. It's not a whole range of people, because you want to narrow it down to who that person is. So one way you can do that is creating what I call avatar. Yeah, avatar. Your ideal client avatar is the same thing, targeted audience. So I do have a PDF that I created that you can do an activity for you to find your own avatar and know who you're talking to. I will put it here in the description box, and I will also share some videos that I have on creating your avatar. So that is the first tip that you need to know before you create your content, okay? The other tip I want to share with you is, when do you want to show up and how often will you show up? So consistency is key, but it doesn't mean consistency does not have to be 5 days a week, 7 days a week. It's your consistency and whatever that looks like for you. So if it's 3 days a week, 5 days a week, or if you're like, hey, I'm just doing 7 days a week, whatever that is for you to stay consistent, because then your audience will know your consistency when you show up and say, hey, I'm showing up 3 days a week, 5 days a week, 7 days a week. So making sure that's consistent. I like to plan my content at least a week in advance. Back in the day, I used to do a whole month, but I really felt like that was overwhelming. So I like to share when I'm creating my content. I work my business and my content business in themes. So I have created themes that I use for the themes day of the weeks. And for example, Monday is Monday motivation, Tuesday is tip Tuesday, like educational pieces. And I just find these themes that are weekly themes that help me create content. Once I got that strategy packed down, it was easy for me to create content, especially I knew who I was talking to, I knew who I was trying to serve, and then creating themes. So an example again is Monday motivation, tip Tuesday, wisdom Wednesday, throwback Thursday, flashback Friday, or friendship Friday. Face-to-face Friday if you're in the beauty space. And then Saturdays for me are like selfie Saturdays, what I'm doing on the weekend. And then Sundays, Soulful Sunday. So you could literally Google daily themes of the week for content and get what works for you. Just because I use these ones doesn't mean they're going to work for you. So you really want to pick something that you feel that, hey, I can focus on that and it relates to what you're sharing with your audience. So when I do that, I literally have a calendar. I'm going to show you a little video here. And I write all my themes of the week, and then I create my content. I write items down. So back in the day, I always just use my Trello board, and I still do, but I feel like when I write it down, I will remember it more. It means more, it's more meaningful. So I will show a video how I use Trello board for me to stay organized. I'll link it here in the cards for you to take a look at that. And then I also use just a planner. I like to do printable little monthly calendars just for me to have a visual. I want to know what I'm doing. I really like to work my business in my weekly videos here on YouTube, and I love to do reels. So when I'm creating reels, I normally do it like on a Saturday or Sunday, and I know I do at least 3 to 4 a week, and I create those in one day to help me for the week, so I'm not randomly trying to do them on the spot. That is my strategy. I don't want that to be yours. Don't feel pressure to doing that if you're barely trying to create this content. One thing that I will say about reels and social media on the timing of this video, is that they are going to give you the highest reach for you to find people who are not following you. So people will find you when you're giving content that is relatable, educational, inspiration. When I first started doing lives, that was the highest reach for people. I still believe in lives, but I don't think they're the highest reach anymore, and this is my opinion. So when you're creating that content, another tip is, what are you going to be doing? What kind of content are you creating as far as short reels, little video clips, a live video, a post, carousel post? So writing those, your themes down, then you're going to know what you're creating for you to have your message across, so you know everything you're going to be creating for, if it's a week, every 2 weeks, or for the month, just to map out a month for you to get some ideas, and then just plugging that information every week. So when you know who your ideal audience is, you know how often you're going to show up, and you find the themes you want to work within, and then knowing what kind of content you're creating. When you have a plan, you're going to be more successful, because you created a plan, you created your outcome of what you want to do, for you to start creating your content for you to show up. And this is where you're going to get consistent. Because I feel, in my experiences, when I didn't know who I was talking to, what I wanted to write about, what I wanted to show, that is when you're not like encouraged to like do the work, right? You're not encouraged to create your content, but when you have a plan, you can take action. So I really feel in these simple steps of knowing what you're doing, you will get motivated to create your content, and then see what works for you. What does your audience like more? Do you have more viewers on your reels, on your Instagram lives, your Facebook lives, just a regular post? So kind of just look at your content and see what works best for your audience, and create more of that. But if you're someone that's not consistent, you're going to hopefully be consistent for a few months, and then every time a month end, look at what content worked for you and continue with that content, because that's what your audience wants. That's what they want to hear from you. One thing that I do encourage, though, on my last tip here, is when you're creating your content, I love to do my YouTube videos because they're a search engine. So when I create content, someone may be searching what I talk about here on my videos, and I repurpose them over on Pinterest, and I even repurpose my Facebook Lives over there. And I do a lot of my reels that I repurpose on here sometimes, mostly on Pinterest. So you decide what platform is going to be the best for you as far as social media, Facebook or Instagram. And then as a search engine, Pinterest or YouTube. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to do two. Just pick one, be consistent, and then I encourage you to find a search engine platform for your videos that you take your time with, can be reached, versus when you lose your post over on Facebook and Instagram within like 6 hours, I believe. So if you got value from this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload a video for you every week. Below, grab my free PDF on my 30 days post ideas to get you started. That's going to help you be consistent, and also release information when I'm starting the works of creating my course on content creation. And when you get the PDF, then you will also get the reminders when I get closer to that time, if that's information you may want and continue to learn from me. So anyways, friend, that's all I have. To the next video, take care and God bless.